What's up, YouTube fam? Today we are making Mahi Mahi Cheesesteaks. If you don't know what Mahi Mahi is, it's this fish right here. It's so good, trust me. So we're gonna start out by putting some onion powder on there. Put it all over the fish. Then I'm gonna add some seafood seasoning. Put that everywhere. You can use Old Bay or whatever seafood seasoning that you may prefer, but I use this one. It's pretty good. It's not too salty. Then I'm gonna add some smoked paprika. Same thing, put it everywhere. And then we're gonna go ahead and flip these things over, and we're gonna put the same seasonings on this side. Now that we're done with that, get your cast iron pan or whatever pan you prefer to use. Put some olive oil and some butter in it. Let it start to bubble up. Once it starts doing that, then you're going to add the fish in. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to be chopping this up anyway. So we just want to get it started. Put all your fish in the pan. Now I'm going to get some minced garlic and just spread it over the top of all the fish. And I have 2 more pieces left. So I'm going to, after I do the garlic, I'm going to add them to just lay them on top and add garlic on top of them. Like I said, doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be chopping these up. We just wanted to get started on cooking. After that, we're going to cover it up for a few minutes and let that all marinate together. Then after a few minutes, we're going to take the lid off and start flipping them over because we're going to start chopping them up in a second. Now, after flipping them around a few times and the garlic and the butter and everything, I'm going to start chopping it up. I'm not going to chop it up finely like it's ground turkey or anything because it's a thick meat and I want it to stay thick for the cheesesteak. So just start playing around with it and start chopping it up. So after I cut it down a little bit, I'm going to start adding some onions. I left my onions a little big. I like big onions in my cheesesteak. You can dice the onions if you want, but this is how I'm going to cook my onions today. Now it's time to go back to the seasonings. So we go back to the onion powder and put that all over because we need our onions to have taste too. Now we're adding the smoked paprika. Put that all over it. Then we're going to move on to the black pepper. I didn't use black pepper in the beginning, but I'm using it now. Put that all over it. And then I'm going to add some oregano. And I'm going to add some basil. So I'm going to add some more seafood seasoning to it. You can add Old Bay, like I said in the beginning, or whatever seafood seasoning you usually use. But this is what I usually use. And I'm going to give it all a good mix without trying to chop it up too much more. I don't want it all small, finely chopped and mushy and everything. I want that meaty texture. Now we're going to cover it up for a little bit more, and then we're going to take the top off and we're going to mix it around some more. My kitchen smells like heaven. If I mean, I don't know what heaven smells like, but if it's anything like this, then I mean, you're in the right place. But anyway, mix it all together. Make sure it's getting all in that buttery juice and everything. It's going to be so juicy. Now I'm going to add some American cheese. I'm using American cheese because I like how American cheese just melts all in between the meat versus using like provolone, or so you can use mozzarella, I guess, but I'm going with American cheese because just look at it. Look how it's just sitting on top of the meat and on top of the onions. I'm going to put some butter on this bread and I'm going to tear it up. You can add some ketchup, you can add lettuce, you can add tomatoes, whatever you do, but try to bite it without anything first.